Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chukwudi Ekwani. Now, do you know that psychologists have discovered that an unbalanced relationship, and when I say unbalanced, I mean when one party seems to be giving more than the other party by far, they discovered that it causes stress and emotional pain. It makes someone tired, and apart from that, it affects an individual's well-being. In this video, we're going to be discussing how my own personal story of such a person, how to identify them, and how to handle them if you ever have such an experience, or if you are even in such an experience right now. So let's go. Like I said, I'm going to share a story of what happened to me back in the university. I was in the university newly, I was a fresher. Didn't really know much about life. Didn't know much about human behavior because I was an introvert, and I didn't spend too much time making friends while I was in secondary school, or while I was in in some parts of the world they call high school, junior high and senior high. I wasn't really that kind of relationship person. As a matter of fact, I never had any girlfriend or any of those kind of things. So I was just a beginner when it came to relationship and human behavior. As a matter of fact, there were things I saw in the university, how people behaved, that honestly speaking, I never believed that human beings can actually behave like that. I was shocked. But today is pretty normal that people behave that way. But unfortunately, so I was in the university, and I had an encounter with this lady. Of course, before I start the story, I want to also say that, of course, while I was in university, I told myself that I have nothing to do with any girlfriend. I don't have any issues like that. I'm just going to concentrate on my study, thinking that everything depended on my decision. I was the one to decide if I was going to have a girlfriend. I was the one to decide if I was going to start any relationship. I just felt that I was the one that was under control. I was the one in control of my life and in my decisions. That was what I thought. And I made a decision that yes, even if I'm going to start a relationship, it will be geared towards marriage. I didn't have time for I would be your girlfriend, then I'll do some stupid things with you, then I'll break up with you, then I'll look for somebody else. I wasn't that kind of person. If I was your girlfriend, just know that the next thing was marriage. I was someone who thought a lot about marriage and a lot about family. So just to let you know where I'm going to. So while I was in university, of course, this lady met me and extended her hands of friendship, and seems like she wanted more, but I wasn't cooperating anyway because I didn't want. But somewhere along the line, I noticed that I started developing feelings. And because I never experienced that before, I didn't know what it was actually. But I discovered that I had this fondness towards this particular person. And I did a lot of things. So the relationship was beautiful. At least that was what I thought it was. And I was doing a lot of things for her. I helped her with homework. I helped her with carrying books. I helped her with studying. And the funny thing with all this thing is that we're not even in the same department. I was in mathematics department and she was in another department entirely. But when people saw us, they thought that we were in the same department. That was how close we were, actually. And in fact, there was a time that I think, in fact, it has happened several times that she goes to the library, and her card's limit of books that she's supposed to borrow gets exhausted. I will even offer my own card so that she can borrow as much books as she wants, and then I will carry the book for her and take her to the bus stop. They hand over everything to her. As I'm talking this thing, I'm kind of ashamed of myself, but I want to be as truthful as I can to you guys in this channel. That is just what happened. There was also another episode where I had a physics exam and I started reading by, let's say, 8 p.m. and I read all through to 1, 2 p.m. And I even reminded her, I sent her a text that, hey, I hope you're up. I called, she didn't pick, so I just left her and did what I wanted to do. I went to bed by about 2 a.m. This lady woke up. She eventually woke up, called me, and told me to please stay awake with her so that we will read together. So I stayed awake again and read with her, and we all went to bed by 5. That was how I gave. I gave foolishly, but whatever, you can say whatever I want to say. But that was how I gave to the relationship. And unfortunately, I wasn't getting back that same vibe. I wasn't feeling the she wasn't reciprocating the same way I was reciprocating in that relationship. The funny thing was that I noticed, but I was hoping that things would get better. As a matter of fact, I allowed my emotions to just take full control over everything that was going on in that relationship. So when I finally discovered, it was kind of late, but you know what they say, it's better late than never. It's better late than never. So I was able to end the relationship, which was one of the most difficult things I've ever done because, you know, no apology, girl never apologized, nothing. So what I'm just trying to say is that I was used in the relationship. And many of us are in such a relationship where it's just one-sided. It's looking like the other person is using you. And it's not very good because even while at that relationship, I had a lot of, I don't know why I'm sweating. It's because I'm talking about relationship. So some of the things that this psychologist discovered was what I experienced. Was it emotional stress? Oh, I felt it. Was it harm to my well-being? I felt it. Was it burnout? I felt it. Was it stress? I felt it. I felt all those things. And it affected my studies too. Yeah, it did. I was literally a first-class student, but I dropped to 2-1 because it affected year 2 of my studies. Yeah, that is how bad an unbalanced relationship can be. So the question now is, how do you identify this group of people so that you can stay away from them? Of course, before you can stay away from them, you need to know how to identify them. And the first way that you can identify them is that they never initiate anything. They always want you to do all the whole thinking, the whole processing, the whole planning. If there's anything difficult, they will just pass it over to you. That is how you know such people. They don't like the stress. They like to delegate responsibilities to their second order, to their friends. That is what they do. They literally just want you to do everything. The second way you can identify them is that they always expect help, but they themselves don't offer any help. Now, when you find out that you are in a relationship or that you have a friend that always expects you to help them, but when it is your turn, they don't help, that is a red flag. Another sign is that they take credit for everything, but they do not acknowledge your support. What I mean by this is that maybe you and the person, you did something and you contributed a lot to that thing. They never acknowledge your contribution, but rather they just take the whole credit for what they did. Even that my so-called friend back in the university, I'm pretty sure that up till now she doesn't even acknowledge my help. She felt that the reason why, and by the way, she came out with a first class. Yes, while I came out with a 2-1. So you can see, it's the relationship really benefited her, but it didn't benefit me. And even with the first class that she got, I was never acknowledged for it. Not that I'm feeling bad about it, but hey, this is how you identify them, okay? And then the next thing is that They only show up when they need something. When they don't need anything, you don't see them. As a matter of fact, they don't call. They don't meet you. They don't even want to know how you are feeling, how you are doing. They just care about what you can do for them. There are these kind of people that when they call you, the next thing you just ask, sorry, when they call you, the next thing you just ask them is that, okay, yes, so how can I help you? What do you want? Because you just know that there is a reason behind this call. Many of them can be very smart. They can call you at first and begin to exchange pleasantries. How are you doing? How is everything? They can talk about everything for like 10, 30 minutes with you. But in the last minute when they're about to hang up, they will finally tell you the real reason why they called. This is how you know them. Another way you know them is that when you are with them, and when you guys are done with the meeting, you notice that you always feel drained intellectually, emotionally, even physically after interacting with them. The reason why you feel drained is that because they have collected a lot from you. You have given a lot without them giving anything. So this is how you can identify such people. Now, what do you do? What do you do about them? Well, to know what to do about them, I will share with you how I am now, because I am so grateful. Really, I'm so grateful because that part of my life, that section of my life taught me a lot about relationship and how to thrive in a relationship, because other people came like that were friends, but they wanted an unfair relationship. They just wanted a relationship where they'll be benefiting and they won't be giving out. I'm sorry that I'm sweating. I don't want to turn on the fan because of the mic and the sound. So just bear with me. And the weather is freaking hot. So back to what I was saying. That is how they are. You get that is how they are. So I've had encounters with them. Even after the encounter I had in university, I still had encounters with them. But I was able to treat it much more differently because of what I learned in the university with that lady. There was one I just noticed that I was just giving and giving and giving. This guy wasn't really giving anything. He wanted me to make all the suggestion. And even me, I was willing to help him. I was just giving, I was just giving. I had no reservation whatsoever. And the guy was doing very well. He was succeeding. Really. He was, and I wasn't jealous. I was very, very happy for him because I was grateful that God was able to use me to help him. That is one thing. Please, when you help people, this is just by the way, when you help people and your help is yielding fruit in their lives, don't get jealous. Thank God that God gave you the privilege to help him. Because anybody you help, is God giving you the privilege to do good in that person's life. Don't take it as you are the one who made him. No. You didn't make him. God made him through you. You get. So back to what I was saying. So I noticed this, and these were the ways I was able to handle it, which I'm going to list out. I wrote them down here. Now, first, I used head logic and no longer my emotions. Unlike what I did previously, where I just allowed I put my emotion on autopilot. No. I use head logic. I was able to identify that this person is using me. Whether he knows it or not, that is what is happening. That is one. Two, I talked to him about it. I had to sit him down. And I told him that, look at what you are doing. You must make it clear. I don't like what you are doing. You are using me in this relationship. You are not giving the way I'm giving in this relationship. You must make it clear, and you must tell him that you don't want it that way anymore. Now, if the person is still doing what he's doing or is not listening to you, give the person space. Don't help anymore if possible. Yes, it sounds harsh, but you got to do it for your mental health. Just give the person space. You're not going to die if he's not your friend, or you're not going to die if he or she is not close to you. So you give him space. Use your time to do other things. There are many other things to use your time for. You can use your time to develop yourself. There are things that you had to keep aside because you wanted to help some people. But if they begin to abuse it, or they feel that they can't also contribute their own quota in the relationship, then you give them space and be selfish with your time. He's still your friend. I'm not saying he's not your friend. I'm not saying you should fight him, but you have to learn to start saying no to their offers. You start saying no to their requests. Yes, they may not like it, but trust me, by the time you say it once, twice, 3 times, they will begin to respect you and your time. Another thing is that you must learn. Another point is that you must learn to know your value as a person. If you're in a relationship and you are giving out value, giving out things, you are a very valuable person, and you must acknowledge it and respect it. You must respect your value. You must understand that you're a unique person, and there's nobody that is like you in the face of this earth. So respect your value, respect your person. And respect, if you respect yourself, people will respect you. So that's it. Of course, this is not trying to say you should be proud and pompous, no. But learn to carry yourself. See, look, you just got to know that you are valuable. And nobody should make you feel you are not valuable. Nobody should make you feel that what you are giving is small. No. If you can give something that can make someone's life to change, even if it is a job offer, maybe you saw a job offer online and you call that your friend and say, hey, I found this job offer online. I think it matches your CV. Why don't you apply? And the person applies and gets the job. That is value, man. Do you think if you had not said it, he would have remained where he was? So you have value, whether it is directly or indirectly. So respect yourself and carry yourself well. And one thing you must also know, I wrote it down here, is that you will attract the right people into your life, and the wrong ones will give way naturally when you begin to behave like this. Those ones who are not right for you will go. Just like that lady. She left. I was no longer interested. I was no longer giving value. I was no longer doing anything. Of course, I prayed. I told God that, look, if this girl, and by the way, she wasn't even a very nice person. She disrespected me. She treated me anyhow. She will offend me. She won't apologize. All those kind of things. So, and this is on daily basis. Just imagine someone that offends you on daily basis. Do you know how painful that is? And so I prayed to God. I said, look, if this thing happens again, if she offends me again, I'm stopping this relationship. And it was it. The next day, she offended me. And I left. It was difficult, but I left. Of course, they say that the first heartbreak is usually the worst. That the first cut is the deepest. It's true. It's true. But I thank God I left. And I thank God for the lessons it taught me. So she left, and the right people are coming. I wrote this too. I said that the right friends will add to your life and not just take. So you must learn to choose wisely. How do you know a good friend? You know a good friend by the value that person gives to you. I have a very good friend like that. And we are still friends up to today. Actually, he was my childhood friend. I don't know, these childhood friends, have you ever noticed that they last very long? And even those ones we meet along the way, well, at least for me, we are still friends up to today. So we have been friends for 22 years, if I'm not mistaken. And whenever I call him, he gives me value. And I also do the same thing. These are the kind of people you need around you. Not those ones that you're always helping, you're always giving, and they don't give anything. Of course, the giving I'm talking about is not necessarily money. No. An idea, a concept, encouragement. Those kind of things that are not tangible, but they are very, very valuable. That is how you know a good friend. So, my friends, choose wisely. Don't waste your life on parasites, because that is what they are. I hope you found value in this video. If you did find value, whatever, subscribe to this channel. This is a channel where I share my life's experiences and the lessons that I've learned from them. So if this sounds like something you want to keep hearing, smash that subscribe button. Did you like this video? Give it a thumbs up so that YouTube will share it to more people. Speaking of share this video to someone that you feel that needs to learn or that needs to hear this. It's very important. This is the way. These are the only ways you can actually support me. And thank you so much in advance if you do all those things. And don't forget to click on the notification bell icon by the side of the subscribe button, because this helps you to know whenever I upload videos in this channel so that you don't miss any of my videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Once again, this is Chukwudi Ekwani. Bye.